Hey, what is up, Bear Nation? It's your boy Roy John coming at you with another video. And today is an actual special day because it's the first game of the preseason. I know, it's preseason. It's just preseason. It's just preseason, but still, it's football. Raiders just wrapped up their first win in the preseason against the Detroit Lions. It's preseason, guys. I know we're not game planning. We're not doing a lot of stuff. Schemes aren't really implemented yet fully. But it's just good to be back and having football, guys. It is really good to have football back in our lives. So I'm actually enjoying sitting back and watching all these rookies trying to earn a roster spot. I gotta say, I was impressed. There's a few names I'm about to shout out on this video. I honestly think they deserve a roster spot just off of tonight's performance alone. But they got to be consistent. So don't quote me on that one. But it looked great. I mean, it did. We looked good tonight, and well, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? We start off the game with Derek Carr. I knew he wasn't going to play more than maybe a series in this game. First quarter, he actually had maybe about 3 minutes on the field. He didn't really do much, if I'm being honest with you, but he did maintain a good huddle. Ran it smoothly. Transition the players where they're supposed to be the right way. Everything looked like it was in tip-top shape. Ran a good route with Jordy Nelson and threw the ball perfectly fine. Everything looked pretty good. Only issue I had was the deep throw that he had with Martavis Bryant. Of course, that was a foul. We all seen it. I mean, that was. But hey, what can you do? Preseason, guys, he wasn't really. He kind of knew they were going to pull him out right after that series, so it was like, okay. I think, in my opinion, he expected, better of himself, even though he knew he was going to get pulled out of that. And that's just how Derek Carr is. So he puts more on himself than us, the fans, put on him sometimes, which is incredible to say, but it's true. This guy, he's a workaholic, obsessive worker when it comes to his craft. Marshawn Lynch, though. Before I get into Marshawn Lynch, I gotta say, Colton Miller, today he looked decent in pass protection from the snaps that I seen him in. He looked like he held his own against rushers, but run blocking, what the fuck happened, man? That was an unnecessary hold, like very unnecessary. Marshawn was about 5 yards past that guy by the time you see Colton Miller just grab him. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on in our rookie's head, but that's the rookie jitters, man. It happens to all of them. Even Mac on his first preseason game had a couple mishaps. So, it happens. It is what it is. So, anyways, back to Marshawn. Marshawn Lynch just smoked the entire entire Lions defense. Like, he just burnt them. He hit another gear that I haven't seen since he was with Seattle. It was crazy. Like, hit that gap and booked it for the end zone. You thought this cornerback had the angle, and then he just outran him. He just took it into a whole nother gear. Just a whole nother gear. It was something else, man. I think the entire Coliseum was rocking when that happened. Wish I was there, but Running back wise, we have a packed house because Jalen Richard looked good. Dude, I think DeAndre Washington looked good. And then we had this freak of a fucking tank just running towards the end of the game. Wow, like bruiser, man. He is a crazy bruiser, man. I was watching this guy recently on his practice run, and he made a motherfucker do a helicopter flip in midair. And it seemed like they tried to stop him in the game, and they just couldn't. Yeah, this kid, Chris Warner, fucking tank. Like, that is a Michael Bush-esque type runner right there. That is someone that you need on this team, man. I don't know who we're going to cut. If it's DeAndre Washington, honestly, I like DeAndre Washington. I think he's a good running back. But between him and Jalen Richard, one of them's got to go. I like Jalen Richard in the pass game. He looked uncoverable. Like, they just couldn't get a corner to cover his ass coming out the back. He was just, breaking dudes' ankles back last year. I mean, Jalen Richard looked unstoppable in the 2-minute drill. He was just catching the ball, running it out of bounds, catching the ball, running it out of bounds. I think they did the same play like 3 times in a row, and they just couldn't stop him. So he got skill, and catching the ball out of the backfield, he is very good at doing that. Not to mention, he's not that bad at running the ball either, man. He could sneak through these cracks and creases and runs at a fucking angle that I don't think I've seen someone run the way he runs sometimes. Like, he literally runs sideways like a fucking crab. It's trippy. And then out of nowhere, he just flips his hips and just starts taking off. Well, this guy is made for the pass game. He's a, running back that could run the ball, and he could catch the ball out the backfield. So he is a double threat. And I like that in Jalen Richard. But I really like this bruiser, man. This Chris Warner, man. He got potential, man. I like what I see from him. So this kid had 13 carries for 86 yards, averaging 6.6 yards a carry. Dude, that's incredible. But it's his preseason. He's going against like second stringers, third stringers, but still, there's something there. There's definitely something there. Yeah, but him and Jalen Richard were the 2 highlight running backs, other than Beast Mode just murking the entire Lions defense. Beast Mode's obviously our starting running back, but to back him up right now, Jalen Richard and this kid Chris Warner look pretty good. If not to back him up with Doug Martin, still have yet to see Doug Martin run in the preseason. So, but these 2 guys that they just showcased today, they look like they can handle a load. DeAndre Washington too, he did good too. Don't get me, I'm not trying to front on him, but right now he is at the bottom right now, guys. I think he's a good running back, and I think he has what it takes to be a really good running back if given the opportunity. But in order to get an opportunity, you got to have someone take a step back, and right now it doesn't seem like this rookie and Jalen Richard are good to take a step back anytime soon. So we'll see where DeAndre Washington lands on the depth chart, or if he even lands on the depth chart. Him and Jalen Richard are the 2 on the chopping block right now, as far as I know. Chris Warner, though, he might be on the chopping block too, but he shouldn't be after what I've seen today. I mean, if he's able to do that consistently, that's a good running back right there. You do not want to get rid of someone like that. That's like a guy you would put at the goal line and just let him go. Fucking beast. So on the defensive side, we look different. Wow, I tripped out on how different our whole defense looks. It just looks like a complete makeover. Nothing like last year's. I honestly, I'm I'm amazed at how, much the entire framework of that defense has changed. It seems like we blitz a lot more. Just from watching this one preseason game, it just looks that way. Like that, the way they're set up is just for the blitz. Now, and the reason I say that is because most teams do not blitz, in preseason. They, if I'm not mistaken, that's like a unwritten rule or some shit like that. And it doesn't look like we, really brought the house or anything like that, but it just seems like our team is made to do it. Like the way the defense is framed, it just seems like they can just come after a quarterback. That's the whole point of the system, is for them to get at the quarterback. And I like it. I really, really like it. I especially like these rookies that they brought in. One particularly, PJ Hall. Incredible, man. This cat got a sack, two freaking pressures, like right up the gut, and then a pass defended, like just swatted a ball down while it was in his passing lane. This guy's a rookie, but he's showing out, man. He is making the best of his opportunity, and I'm really impressed. He was balling, man. He was balling. That sack he got just kind of pushed the guy in. Other guy made the quarterback step up, and he just let go of his guy and got the quarterback. Nicely executed. Then you got like Carlos Joseph coming in with the sack, and then the very next play laying the wood on a fucking running back, and they got a penalty for it because he put his head down. He hit him with the shoulder, but he put his head down, so they flagged him. New rule from the NFL. As if shit wasn't confusing enough for these guys that are trying to tackle. But whatever. And I just find it funny that the first time I see that flag thrown on that stupid rule, it happens to be a Raider that it happens to. So I maybe I'm just being a conspiracy theorist here, but they tend to always seem to fuck with us. Moving on. So Carlos Joseph got flagged for it, but you can tell his teammates, hey, they gave him a pat on the back and they said, don't worry about it. I think they knew, like, sometimes you just gotta let a guy know. You come in like that, you gonna receive some unwelcome, greetings, okay? And the guy that kept coming up, like, constantly, over and over again, towards the end of the game, Nelson, number 38. Not to be confused with Reggie Nelson. This guy was everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Patting down balls, like fucking running in and swatting balls down from the quarterback. Covering motherfuckers like a blanket. He was balling out, man. I think, not sure if he'll make, first team roster or anything like that, but he deserves at least a look at special teams. Like, if this guy can make these kind of plays, you would want him as a, rotational piece or something like that. But as I said before, consistency. We got to get at least 3 games in before we actually start making these moves and start making these decisions. And every game you go through, you got to actually cut your roster down a bit. So we'll see what happens, what Coach Gruden's going to do. But this guy just kept coming up. I mean, I think 2 minutes in this game, you hear his name on defense. Even the announcers were talking about it. Man, we've mentioned this guy a lot. He showed out. Now I'm going to end this on the biggest position battle that we have going on in camp right now, and that is the backup quarterback position. Cook took it. Unless EJ comes back and Cook just has a horrible next 3 games, Cook is basically our backup quarterback right now because he just seems to have a grasp on this offense out of nowhere. Like, he was just marching us up and down the field and did it with ease. Didn't even sweat it when a freaking guy was coming from the side about to hit him upside the head. He just stayed in the pocket, stepped up, delivered the ball. And he did it without hesitation. It was great to watch this guy, just step up and perfect throw. Perfect catch, and it was a nice, execution. I think the only issue I had with him was his decision making on some of the plays, and they brought this up on the TV, and actually it showed the difference between him and Derek Carr. There was a play where he forced it down the field, and it was almost intercepted, but and on that same exact, rollout, Derek Carr had the same thing, and he checked it down to Jordy Nelson, got about 4 yards out of it. And then next play, did it again, checked it down to a wide receiver on the left, and got another 5-6 yards out of it, first down. That's the difference between, trying to make a play and taking what the defense gives you. Sometimes you do got to, go for it. Sometimes you got to go for the jugular and go for the kill. You got to pick your battles, And Derek Carr is very good at picking when to actually go for the jugular and picking when to take what the defense gives you. Doesn't seem like Connor Cook's there yet, but he did very well for himself in this game. Connor Cook basically solidified his spot as, second string. But, like I said, and I keep saying, first game of the preseason, don't jump to conclusions. We'll see where we're at in, the 3rd week of preseason, and we'll see where it goes from there. So, Connor Cook was 11 for 19, 141 yards and a touchdown. There was one, moment where he was just, dime after dime, and then handing off to running back, and then just threw a beautiful cutback throw. And when I say cutback throw, he literally ran outside, took a step, and then had the receiver cut back inside, which was crazy. Threw the ball for a touchdown. Well played. Very well played. I think that he has, I think he has this team, thinking he got to that position at, second string. But we'll see where we're at, Like I said before, first game of the preseason. A lot of these guys might not even be on the roster by, week 3 of the preseason. So, it's looking good so far, man. I'm so hyped. I'm so excited that football is back, guys. That's going to do it for today, though. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Go Raiders.